Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how the Ghost Change affects the TvP matchup. Of course, it won't be as extreme as TvZ, but one way or the other, you're not going to be sniping all that many Zealots anymore like you used to be. Whatever the case, I bring you Empire Cast. He is in the blue trunks and he is playing Terran to the east of the Antigua shipyard. Versus opponent, currently equal, one apiece in this best of 3 series. It is Evil Genius's Puma. He is in the red trunks playing Terran to the west.
And there's a lot of people, man, on the internet commenting about your recent facial hair change, and it's looking pretty fly. Looking pretty good, man.
Yep, spreading a bit of creep around there. It's always good.
If only I could do that, man. I tried to stop shaving for about a month. Nowhere near.
A little wisp. Nothing but a wisp.
That's all it was. Unfortunately,
your baby man.
My baby face does not work well with facial hair.
Yeah, well.
Imagine if we both did that though. Like both had the same facial hair like you.
That would be pretty awesome, honestly.
That would be pretty sick casting team.
Yeah, maybe when you break into your 20s, that'll happen. We'll see.
We'll see, man. I'm actually 22, almost 23. I'm actually not that much younger than you, even though it looks different.
Oh, I remember the comments on the previous done, and that was gay. And Mr. Diapollo, and casting with his dad. Great, thanks, guys.
So it looks like so far pretty standard. Let's see who takes the gas, if anybody. And I don't think we're going to see Cass take. He has queued up another SUV, and there is the gas from down from Puma.
Puma, in fact, they've changed colours. Damn them.
Oh, damn them. Silly people.
Sneaky.
But it is going to be, as you can see, with this, the refinery is taken after the barracks. So it's not an early refinery. He's not going to rush straight up to tech, but he still could be doing something slightly aggressive. It could also be a Reaper expand as the barracks is placed in such a way where that would allow it. We'll see what Puma has here for Cass, but the Destroyer, once again, you know, always playing the same style, and that's something that Cass has learned through playing so many multiple games online, so many tournaments, so many ladder games. He just has this style where it's one build to rule them all, and it will not lose to anything. And I'm going to make sure that it doesn't lose to any all-in, any build that takes advantage of it, and that's the solid play that we do see from Cass.
Yeah, and the question is he going to be able to deal with what's coming? Because this will be a Reaper expansion here from the one and only Evil Genius's Puma. Don't want to try and pronounce that Finnish name, that's terrible. This is going to be scouted, though, pretty much instantly, so he will be prepared for that. He confirms the tech lab is there. There's only really one reason to have that in this matchup, so what he does not want to do right now is leave with all of his Marines.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, he scouted it. The only thing that could go bad for Cass if he doesn't have the Marines and he tries to predict where the Reaper goes and he gets that prediction wrong, because there's multiple entries for the Reaper to come from, so he's actually just going to move out to the center of the map, which is, I guess, is a bit of bold movement, and just going to try to catch the Reaper before he even goes in. But it's going to go to the Zelnoga Tower range, and this actually could be so sick, but the Marines are a little bit slow compared to the Reaper.
Yep, have a bit of a jog there. Gonna get it anyway by the looks of it, they'll at least intercept it. The cool thing is the Puma's actually making a second Reaper. This is the thing that we thought was going to be really part of the metagame, but never really happened. The idea of building 2, maybe 3 Reapers.
He's going for 3, man.
Yeah,
and he's realizing what Cass's build relies on is just a few Marines early on while establishing 2 more barracks, 2 more gas. And then eventually, as he starts mining gas, a tech lab comes down. So if he could start to come in from multiple angles, together or not together, he could actually get a lot of SCVs down. So we'll see.
He
goes around the radius of the Zelnoga Tower to catch the Marines streaming there, which was a nice maneuver, but unfortunately didn't work too well. And these 4 Marines are actually going to go ahead and be aggressive. And how many Reapers right now? 3 against 4 Marines. If microed well, will beat all of them.
Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Reaper firepower is amazing against light units. It's absolutely stellar. It devastates them. And also, if he attacks from multiple angles, he can start to cause a bunch of different problems.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done so yet. He's playing defensively with them at the moment because of that little push there by Cass. Perhaps deliberate, expecting, oh, well, there's more than one Reaper.
Yeah.
If I push, I force him to stay back.
Yeah, and there's not been too much of an investment from Puma here with these 3 Reapers.
No.
If he somehow was to go into the main of Cass and kill 2 to 3 SCVs, I think would be a really nice trade. But he's actually playing defensive with them rather than not. So
it's rather odd.
If he does play defensive with them, which we're seeing, you can clearly see in the supply that Cass does have that lead because he got the earlier expansion up.
Yeah, he really does need to go for it. I mean, he can as well. He could go in now. Obviously, he'd have to just hop through the third, round the side, and then do damage.
Look at that. Cass's main base, a supply cooldown.
That's very unusual for Cass.
He
rarely gets blocked there.
So it looks like Cass made a bit of a mistake there and was like, oh, crap. So even though he had the earlier expansion out, he wouldn't have took full advantage of it
Yeah.
because of that mule obviously being used for a supply depot call-in to help increase his supply. So Cash is still at a comfortable lead though, as now Puma just this second starts to saturate that expansion, and the Reaper's still not done anything here. We'll see. Does have we do have combat shield finish and stim on the way. Double reactor immediately here for Puma, and it looks like double reactor for Cass. So similar builds, but Cass has that earlier engineering bay because he went for that earlier expansion. Had a little bit more money, so he could have just got that earlier engineering bay compared to Puma, who's only just finished his.
Yeah, and he's kicked off with +1. He's already halfway through that, which that starts to unlock these just natural timing windows for any player that has that lead, where he knows that his opponent's not quite there yet. So in a straight-up fight, the guy with the upgrades tends to win it.
And it looks like we third refinery coming down here for Puma, so he wants to go straight into Medivacs here and have enough gas to produce 2 at a time. And the Reapers now are coming in. I've lost my voice. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's back.
That's terrible in the third map. That would be awful.
I know. I lose my voice. I'm like, don't take the gas.
No problem, Mr. Anderson. Right, we've got these Reapers now moving their way through the destructible debris, which is probably not the best use of their talents, honestly. Kind of nice, but I still would have liked to have just seen him hopping in there. The thing is, like, he had this opportunity to go in there and do damage, and where Cass was actually pulled towards the front, but now that opportunity has passed, really. It's too risky to go in there and potentially lose all of the Reapers. Knocking that set of rocks down does give him an opportunity to attack a potential third there from Cass.
And the thing is with Cass's play, even though, you know, he's established well on 2 bases, he doesn't have any map control, and the only way he's going to have information is going to be scans. And this is a very terrible place to be in because the Reapers can come in from different angles, even though Cass 4 Marines there all game long. Nicely
done there by Cass, and the nice thing about that is that the
tank production a little bit earlier, but everything is just faster for Cass. The army supply is even in his favor, and he cannot lose. Oh my god, he's getting caught out of position there a little bit, forces a stim from Puma, who has to retreat home.
Always lovely to force a stim when you've only got that, and he's going to go for it, and he wants to do even more damage. That Reaper's going down. There we go. Nicely done.
I think Cass could actually just kill Puma.
Yeah, I think he can. I think he actually has what he needs, especially...
And Puma pulls up SCVs knowing that he's behind in this, and Cass is just going to go in. If he kills the SCVs, this is amazing.
Here he goes. Cass is going to try and crush this. The SCVs melt so fast. A wall of bullets going in the direction of him. But there's now 4 medevacs on the field for Puma. Perfect timing from him, and he forces Cass all the way back.
Jump into the main base, Toro.
Right into the base he goes. Damage coming in on the economy of his opponent here, and it's going to take so long to get back up there. Look at that. So many SCVs are going to get slaughtered in this. There's the pick up and go. 35 SCVs versus 60.
Oh, wow. And Cass says, welcome to Europe, Puma. And he is in a lot of trouble now.
Oh, yeah.
And look at the SCV count. 24 SCVs have been killed. Cass is in an amazing position. He has a 3rd orbital command now. He also has tanks coming out. Puma does have somebody who will not have the economy to support the same amount that Cass will have very shortly, as I'm sure. Second factory, oh, he's got cutting off. Goes down the second factory, and he's going to have so many tanks coming out, and Puma takes a significant blow in game number 3.
That was crushing, and it was so quick and smart from Cass as well. No, 4 medevacs are out. Right, okay, so now we're in a situation, especially with the SCVs having buffered damage. Nice shot down there by Puma. But with the SCVs buffering damage, that I can't win a straight-up engagement, but look, I can exploit the immobility of my opponent. Quick hop right into the base and devastating his opponent's mineral line.
Yeah, and Cass just had more units because his build was better. Simply that. 1 barracks expansion, gasless compared to 3 Reapers. Bit of an investment that did nothing. And once again, Cass controls the game. Untouchable, unbreakable. That is Cass's motto. And a Marine, well, that's a weird balance. Command center, building.
Command center versus Marine, round 1.
Marine always wins, man.
Sadly true, unfortunately. They neglected to put defensive guns on their most important building. And that's why Terran lose.
And even though we do see these guys, you know, kind of playing still equal, even though the advantage is a little bit in favor of Cass, in Terran versus Terran, unsieged, siege tanks out of position, anything along those lines, game changes instantly.
Yep,
so, or like this, for example.
Oh, here he goes, a nice stim there, and of course Zelnaga control for Puma and gets a good few shots off there. Little bit of damage done to Cass's army, which you slowly see the supply count start to increase. The concern that I've got right now for Puma is Puma doesn't have any kind of air superiority as of yet, but he is getting it, and Cars isn't, which could be a problem. Look at the medevac count. It's very considerable. It's double what Cars is.
The income, I just like jumped out of my skin there. I saw 3,000 versus 800. Obviously, Mule's coming into play, but the SCV counts 78 SCVs. I think Cass is a little bit overproducing in SCVs now. Maybe a little bit nervous as he goes over to 80 very shortly. And here we do have Puma going in a similar look. Cass out of position.
Undeployed siege tanks, the worst thing that could possibly happen. And it's fortunate there that Puma decided to back off. If he'd gone in, he would have blasted that army apart, suspecting that there were deployed siege tanks. In fact, there were not. A window that could have been exploited, but of course Puma didn't have the knowledge for that.
This is going to be a fantastic maneuver, and I really wanted to see this from Puma. Just a single medevac drop into the main base. Everything from Cass is there, and oh my god! Cass!
Oh
Cass!
no! Cass throws away 2 full medevacs in the process, and Puma gets a brilliant position on his opponent.
And that's said how games can change immediately in this matchup, and he loses 60 Marines and 2 medevacs, and all of a sudden Puma's turned it around, but he's, oh my god, he's gonna...
Oh, he looks for the flank, he loses the siege tanks again! Puma goes in and does great damage. Cass is being picked apart now, and the lead is starting to slip through his fingers.
Oh my god, my microphone keeps cutting off.
We'll have to sort that out after this game, yeah.
The thing is though, that if Cass was the natural and third base, and there's nothing there to defend it, no tanks, no nothing, even if Puma's doing damage in the main base, Cass to do so...
Yeah, he's going for it, he really is, and he's doing a good amount of damage here. And look, can he blast his way through those Marines? His Marines are in terrible position. Cass, massive damage taken to his army, stims into the mineral line, but loses a ton of Marines. Most of them couldn't even shoot, and the medevacs kept them alive. Finally, this is cleaned up. Cass still has a massive economic advantage, though. Puma did not deliver a crippling blow there.
Absolutely, that is true, Total Biscuit, but he does have an army disadvantage. 106 supply versus 62. So once again, Puma's going to have map control. He can easily drop in different locations again once the center is controlled, or by the looks, going for a killing blow here potentially, setting up underneath the main base of Cass, dropping into the main again.
Yeah, he's going to go straight for the main base. Once again, this nice little 1 medevac drop. I love it. It's well supported. It can catch so much out of position. These 2 tanks deployed in a good spot. Not too many tanks in that force. Cass could maybe get in there. Cass wants to hold on for as long as possible and use his superior economy to try and replenish that army quicker. But in the process, he's going to end up losing that starport. Here comes the flanking maneuver right there by Cass. The deployment is in. He's going to eat siege tanks, and he's been flanked again by Puma. A wonderful move by Puma. Crushes the tanks. It's so good. Oh my god. Cass gets annihilated again.
That was a champion's move there. That was a counter to a counter. A flank, and then was directed. Fantastic maneuvers there.
Yeah, you see that new film, The Artist? Puma stars in it. That was elegant. That was just a work of art right there. Purely fantastic in every respect. And Cass gets completely caught out, and the third is now under great threat. Puma takes this game back, and Cass in a terrible spot, loses another tank. Cass falling to pieces.
Really, I mean, Cass has been, he's had the better economy, yet Puma's played better.